Hi, hello students, welcome to SPV Education World. Together we create a better world. If you are not yet subscribed, kindly subscribe to our channel and also keep supporting to our SPV Education World so that we will be creating a change in this nation with our all the efforts. And also I'm not the change, my dear friends, you are the change. So please contribute to our channel through PAYTM link, the number I'm provided, and also help us to share with many friends and families so that it can reach to many people and maybe have a good help, my dear friends. I'm SP Rajan taking for you classes in all the Tamil, Telugu, Hindi, English languages. Without confusing, I'm creating a different sites and slides of thumbnails. So kindly inform your friends. This is SPV Education World. If you want to learn something in our education world, you can kindly watch our playlist so that I had organized the videos which I'm making and whatever the courses I'm providing. So kindly keep supporting. This is me, SP Rajan, and also here we gonna see today about the history classes of a top 100 questions, important questions that were being asked in the last previous questions. These are all not only important questions, these are all the previous year questions that I'm gonna mention, top 100 questions, my dear friends. So kindly keep supporting. As usual, when I start our class, we will be seeing a good motivational quote, then we move on to the class. So what is the motivational quote of the day is, don't quit, my dear friends, just do it. Whatever the situation that may rise, whatever the failures that may face, whatever the hard things, pain, sufferings, whatever the thing you go through, just say to yourself, don't quit. Whatever the thing, you just do it and prove it to the people that you can and you will do something great to this society and great to yourself. Many will be disappointing, degrading and demotivating you, my dear friend, but never stop for the words they say. Just don't quit and do it, my dear. So now we move on to the classes or important questions that were being asked in present day classes. We're gonna see what was the script used in the earliest Tamil inscriptions. Now we're gonna see in Tamil inscription what is the script they are using. It is a Brahmi script, my dear friends. So what are all the other script? What is Brahmi script? If you are writing from your left side to the right end, that it is called as all the lines you are starting from the left and moving on to the right, as usual as you are writing Tamil, Telugu, Hindi, English and whatever the language. Generally you write from left, you start from left and move on to the right. Like this type of writing is called as Brahmi script. And if you are writing in other languages like other format like such as you may see Arabic or Urdu, you'll be starting from the right end moving to the left end and also starting from the right end and moving to the left end. If you are doing such type of writing, it is called as Kharosthi script. So you know what is Kharosthi script? Is there only two forms of script? Means no, my dear friends, there is a one more thing. It is called as Bostrophedan. Bostrophedan means what? Bostrophedan means first line you start from the left end and move to the right end, and next line you start from the right end and move to the left end, and if you are continuing in this way and this similar way, then this is called as Bostrophedan, my dear friends. This is mostly found in Indus Valley civilization, which has not yet deciphered still now. Now we can see who among the following introduced the subsidiary alliance in India. Now remember this, friend, to conquer India, British had played many tricks on Indians and Indian systems. So one among that is subsidiary alliance. What is it? Who introduced it? It is Lord Wellesley who introduced a subsidiary alliance. Subsidiary alliance means there will be a kingdom. In that kingdom, this British says that okay, I'll help you in that regard, that I'll be giving army to your kingdom so that it will be safe for you to prevent yourself from other attacks like this. British will offer them army, but the payment of the army, all the expenses will be taken care by the that native kingdom itself. So army, and also in the governance they will be having a resident from the British side. What is this resident will do? He will be not interfering in administration, but he will be there and seeing all the administrative these things, my dear friends. So that automatically one more rule is that they cannot, if the army is by British, and also they cannot have foreign relationship without the permission of British. So automatically whenever the army of a kingdom and foreign affairs of a kingdom is under the British control, so they indirectly take control of that kingdom, my dear friends. So then, and next one more thing also introduced, that is called as doctrine of lapse by Dalhousie. What is that mean? Dalhousie introduced a doctrine of lapse. What is it for? He said that as usual in our old monarchy system, a king is there. If he is dying, his son will taking as the throne, and next his son will be taking the throne. But Dalhousie said that if you don't have a natural heir, which means if there is no a true son of him, then his kingdom will be lapsed with the British government. That is said by the Dalhousie. But actually what they do is they adopt some other son as his son and they give kingdom to him, but adopted son is not eligible to be the king. That Dalhousie said and introduced the doctrine of lapse. And next we come to here, which among the following was the first municipal corporation set up in India during the year 1687. So first municipal corporation in India is formed during Madras Municipal. So it is formed, that is Madras Municipal Corporation. Later there were many municipal corporations to be formed, my dear friends. It is Calcutta, Bombay, and next at which place did Mahatma Gandhi started first Satyagraha in India? You can remember this. In India they had asked. So in India means does he started any Satyagraha outside India means yes, my dear friend. Gandhi started first Satyagraha in South Africa, but he came to India during 1915 January 9th. From the date he has been participating Indian freedom struggle. So that he introduced in India Satyagraha is in Champaran. Why did he go on fight for Satyagraha means it is to help the farmers to fight the Tin Khatiya system. Tin Khatiya system is introduced by British. What is that really meant for? British introduced Tin Khatiya system to cultivate indigo in this field. That also 3/20 part must be cultivated or indigo cultivations. Indigo means what? It is a blue color dye, so that it is no use for the farmers because our Indian farmers mostly produced food crops, but this is a commercial crop. So this was the issue that region of Champaran farmers were facing. So Gandhi went and started Satyagraha and was successful in fighting this Tin Khatiya system, which was abolished by British. To the next attempt, next here, Spring Tiger. A study of revolutionary is a biographical work on. Remember this? Spring Tiger. It is about whom? It is about Subhash Chandra Bose. Tiger means everybody know that Subhash Chandra Bose, a greatest tiger of our India, who was a British PM at the time of revolt of 1857. During 1857 we had a revolt, a Sepoy mutiny, or if you say it as a first war of independence. During that period, who was the British Prime Minister? He is none other than Lord Palmerston. He is the British Prime Minister. Then who is considered to be the father of Ayurveda? During the olden days we had a well-versed medical system, and also there was also surgeries are present there. So the Ayurveda started during that time. Who was the father of Ayurveda? He is Charaka. Most of the writings of the medicine and Ayurveda is written in Charaka Samhita, which was a good compilation of ancient medicine in India, which Veda throws the light on beliefs and practices of non-Aryans. Most of the non-Aryan practices and practices are being introduced by Atharva Veda. Mostly they teach them to skills, mostly skill oriented, my dear friend. Here we can see who was called as Zinda Pir. Zinda Pir means it is a living saint. In Mughal period is called as Aurangzeb. Next, what was the Sher Shah's real name? Sher Shah had as a real name, it is Farid. Who is Sher Shah? Sher Shah is the important ruler during the Mughal period, but he is not a Mughal, my dear friend. He bet and chased Humayun, who was a Mughal ruler. He defeated Humayun in the wars, and so that he was a great ruler, and he also introduced many things. For example, Sher Shah introduced a Grand Trunk Road, and also he has been introduced successfully Rupiah system, and many reforms of Sher Shah. Governance is greater, and still now we can cherish them through the writings and books, my dear friends. We can see here who earned the title Liberator. Who has given the title Liberator? It is given to the most important person, Ashoka, who was the Nanda ruler at the time of Alexander invasion. Alexander invaded the whole world as he was attacking severely and ferociously. He crossed Ravi, Jhelum, all the rivers, but when he come across the Bias river, there is a fear struck all the rulers of all the warriors of the Alexander. Why do they fear? Because if you cross the Bias, there is a huge kingdom in India ruled by Nanda. They had a very ferocious army of 2 lakh persons, 20,000 elephants, and a huge army. So automatically Alexander and his soldiers said that already we are tired enough. If you go and fight this Nanda rulers, you are gonna lose. So we shall back to our kingdom. So they started going back. And who was the Nanda ruler? During that period, Alexander was invading India. It is Dhanananda who is the Nanda ruler. Then we see which Chola ruler converted the Bay of Bengal into Chola Lake, not Chela, Chola Lake. See, my friends, Bay of Bengal was great ocean, but thing is that who is the Chola ruler? They had a strong navy that they go across all the Bay of Bengal and conquered many places. For example, even there is a many temples in places like Cambodia and Myanmar and many places. Hinduism was spread over. That is because of this Rajendra Chola, once a ferocious, strong navy, my dear friend. Next we shall see during which reign was Kalidasa lived. Kalidasa was a greatest poet, and he was living during whose period? It is due to during Chandragupta II. He is a Gupta ruler. Gayatri mantra, as usual we Hindus sing it with great experts, my dear friend. Here Gayatri mantra, it is present in Rig Veda, and it is dedicated to which deity, which god we sing Gayatri mantra? Gayatri mantra is sang to the Savitir. Savitir means it is sun god. To the sun god, Gayatri mantra is mostly dedicated to. Next, which ruler was known as Amitraghata, the destroyer of foes means enemies. The destroyer of enemies is Bindusara, a famous ruler. Next we see under which sultanate Chalisa land increased considerably. Chalisa land is a donated religious donation of land is Chalisa. It was high during the Alauddin Khilji. Next, which Mughal emperor tomb is outside India? Most of the Mughal emperors tombs are present inside India, and only one ruler, it is Jahangir, whose tomb is present outside India. It is in Lahore, I think so. So it is Jahangir, who was the first foreign invader to invade India. Already we had seen this in ancient India classes, as Persians approach India and also Greeks approach India, and we know the Persian rulers Darius I is the first one to invade India, that too in the northwestern province, who was the first governor of Portuguese in India. As usual, Portuguese came to India as Vasco da Gama landed in India in 1498, and again he landed in Calicut. Calicut, who was the ruler during that period, is Zamorin. He welcomed him with a hearty and full of spices and everything he gave as a gift to Vasco da Gama. So after he went and shown everything how much wealthy our country, so they started a company and want to trade with India. So again they formed a company, and the governor of Portuguese, first person who came to India, is Alfonso de Almeida. You remember this Almeida? Maida means you'll be remembering very easy, so it is the one Almeida. During which moment was Mahatma added before the Gandhiji's name? Gandhiji's name is Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, but why we call him as a Mahatma Gandhi? It is because of his greatest success through the Satyagraha and peace that was shown in Champaran Satyagraha. After Champaran Satyagraha, people call him as Mahatma. Who is the father of local self-government in India? Local self-government means Panchayati Raj, Municipal Raj, like local self. See, the local persons who are belonging to the village, they can rule themselves with the help of Gram Sabha and these things. Who is the first person to start this local self-government, who is called as father of local self-government, is Lord Ripon. Why is it? It is because that 1882 he introduced an act called local self-government, so that it helped many local peoples to rule themselves and to satisfy the needs of themselves. So he is none other than Lord Ripon. Next, who introduced Mansabdari system? Mansabdari system is a revenue system. It is introduced by Akbar. By whom was the India Independence League set up? It was set up by Raj Bihari Bose, and he was famous and moved on to many places like Tokyo, Japan and this thing. On which river did Pulakeshin II defeated Harshavardhana? See, Harshavardhana is a great ruler of North India, and he had fought with the Deccan ruler Pulakeshin II. Finally, Harshavardhana got defeated, but they fought along the river Narmada. Next, by whom was the city of Agra found in 1504? During 1504, the city of Agra was found by Sikandar Lodi. First Anglo-Maratha was ended by which treaty? First Anglo-Maratha was ended with a treaty called Salbai. Actually, this is a stalemate. Both did not win. Anybody was not successful. So they started, okay, we are tired, we'll end up this war. So they signed a treaty called Salbai Treaty, and also the second Maratha war started because of this overcoming or trespassing this agreement or treaty, Salbai Treaty, my dear friend. Actually, they say that a resident of a British has been killed in this Salbai Treaty, so they got anger and they started Anglo-Maratha War 2. Next, who deciphered the Hadikansh inscriptions? Most of the inscriptions, first time, see, most of the inscriptions and deciphering is done by James Prinsep. For example, in Ashoka inscription you may take, or also Indus Valley civilizations, everything was done by James Prinsep, who is a famous archaeologist from British. Okay, my dear friends, you can see here, by whom was the practice of sati was declared illegal. See, sati was declared illegal by William Bentinck during 1828, my dear friend. Who fought for this? Raja Ram Mohan Roy is a great person, fought for this, and also he was successful in achieving it. He also started different Samaj, Atmiya Sabha he started, and again it was future, it had become into Brahma Samaj, and then they were successful in achieving this Sati Abolition Act, my dear friends. And also 1833 Act, it is called as Charter Acts. It also you introduced during this William Bentinck era, my dear friends, rule. And also one more thing you must know about William Bentinck is, in this 1933 Act, they also formed that Governor General of India. Before that, there is no Governor General of India, it is called as Governor of Bengal. But after this only, all the provinces has been combined and one Governor General has been announced for whole India. That is Lord William Bentinck is called as Governor General of India. Which was the god of animal during the later Vedic period? The god of animal is called as Rudra. He is the during later Vedic period. Next, from where Sufi movement was started? Sufi movement is started in Persia and started. It is also a love of music to the god, and it is a thing in Islam where they spread peace, love and everything. Such a beauty in Sufi movement, my dear friend. And also it is had a most influence of Hindu movements, my dear. Hindu Bhakti movement also and Sufi movement are parallel enough, and each had their own influence. By whom was the, next 33rd question, by whom was the famous Kirti Stambha at Chittor built? Kirti Stambha at Chittor is built by Rana Kumbha. Analects is a sacred text of which religion? As the Christianity has a Bible as its sacred text, Muslims have, or Islam have a Quran, Hindus have Ramayana, Mahabharata and Bhagavad Gita. This Confucius religion has an important sacred text called as Analects. Next, which Rajput dynasty did not surrender to Akbar? During Akbar's reign, he was at peace and also surrendered all the Rajput kingdoms except this Sisodaya, which did not even surrender to Akbar. Next we come to the 36th question. Which ruler at first assumed the title of Hazrat-e-Ala and afterwards Sultan? Who got the title Hazrat-e-Ala or Sultan? It is none other than Sher Shah Suri. About Sher Shah Suri we had studied earlier in the same session, so ignore it. And who is related to? Next question. Who is related to Sarvodaya movement or Bhudan movement? Remember this, Sarvodaya movement or Bhudan movement, both are launched by one person called Acharya Vinoba Bhave. And he is also famous because during the 1940 there is no important rulers ahead, everybody were present, and there is also no strong movement. So Acharya Vinoba Bhave started an individual satyagraha. So individual satyagraha means at particular regions, every region they started individual satyagraha. So and also they moved to Delhi, so it is also called as Delhi Chalo movement and these things. And next we shall see Bhudan movement. What is Bhudan movement? Bhudan movement means nothing, my dear friend. Zamindars had a huge chunk of land with them, huge and large land, so that he motivated them and made them understand how the poor are suffering and also tillers are suffering. So you just give a part of the land or donate to the many persons so that the poverty can be established. So it is a beautiful movement launched by Acharya Vinoba Bhave. It is also started in AP Pochampally district, Pochampally place in Nalgonda district, my dear friend. Next, which Sikh Guru called himself Sacha Badshah? Who is called as Sacha Badshah? Guru Hargobind Singh, he had called himself as Sacha Badshah, which was a capital of Raja Ranjit Singh of Punjab. Raja Ranjit Singh is an important Sikh ruler who ruled Punjab, and he is the one who has a huge army. It is with the capital is Lahore, my dear friend. And here Raja Ranjit Singh. Do you want to know Raja Ranjit Singh means? He is a ferocious ruler. Still 1839, British even turned his face towards Raja Ranjit Singh because he had a huge army after British. So during that era or that period or that timing, no other has a huge army except British. Then next to it, the one who has a huge army, Sikh army, is Raja Ranjit Singh. But Punjab has two parts, my different. Nowadays it is divided into East and West Pakistan. West Pakistan is present, sorry, East and West Punjab. West Punjab is present in Pakistan, and East Punjab is the thing we see in India. Next, high courts in Calcutta, Mumbai, Madras were established in which year? 1861. You know, my dear friend, 1857 we had a Sipahi Mutiny, then 1858 there is a Government of India Act. From there the power of company has been converted into crown, so that now the crown rule has been started from 1858. And also to have a control over Indians, and also to cool our Indians, there are many acts introduced in 1861 Act. It is India Council Act, and also we can see Indian Council Act, for example, Indian Penal Code, Criminal Code, Civil Procedure Code. Everything was introduced during this 1861. The same they had started in high courts at Calcutta, Mumbai and Madras also, and the same act they had introduced. With whom did Al-Biruni came to India? Al-Biruni is a great poet who had came to India along with Muhammad of Ghazni, who was the first person to invade India. And also Al-Biruni was with many Indians, and also wrote biographies, important poets about the Indian rulers of Indian Muslim rulers who destroyed the group of 40 nobles. 40 nobles means, you can see while reading how the Balban had ruled during that time, because Balban was a slave, so he abolished or destroyed the 40 nobles because they will maybe turning against Balban. So you can see this. Next, who was the daughter of Emperor Aurangzeb? Aurangzeb, you know, my dear friend, his daughter is Zibunisa. Who was the first speaker of independent India? In independent India, the first speaker is G.V. Mavlankar. Where was first a madrasa set up by British India? British India started a madrasa. Madrasa is a Muslim, which means religious education for Muslim. It had been started in Calcutta. In India, where did Dutch establish their earliest factory? The earliest factory of Dutch means Netherlands rulers is established in Masulipatam. Who was the writer of Indian War of Independence? Indian War of Independence is written by V.D. Savarkar. Important thing about V.D. Savarkar is he is the one person who seeded Hindutva movement in India, and there was a rise of Hindu nationalism during the V.D. Savarkar that had a great influence, and he also has a part on the formation of RSS. Next, which battle did Nadir Shah defeated Muhammad Shah? Nadir Shah is an invader. He just come to India, loot everything and take everything and go away. He is the one who took away all the wealth in India, and also we can see that Kohinoor diamond and also Peacock throne, everything is taken by him. And it is Mughal ruler Muhammad Shah Rangila. We call him Rangila because he is just a pleasure loving person, and he don't even care for his kingdom or people. So he was defeated in a place called Karnal War. And it is not that much important, my dear friend, because Nadir Shah just came and looted everything and bet everything. So Muhammad Shah didn't find that much ferociously. Next we see, by whom was the first Muslim invasion of India led? First Muslim invasion in India is led in northwestern province. It is by Muhammad bin Qasim. What is the subject matter of Upanishads? Whenever we see Ramayana, Mahabharata, or whatever the religious texts, Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, everything it tells about religion. And the difference is that if you see Ramayana, Mahabharata and also Bhagavad Gita, all say about story type mentioning, but Upanishads is the only thing where it provides much about the philosophy of life and the beauty of life and also good way of life. Next we came, who betrayed Siraj-ud-Dawla in the Battle of Plassey? We know the Battle of Plassey has been conducted on 1757. Siraj-ud-Dawla is the ruler during that time, and he was betrayed by Mir Jafar. He was a minister in the hands of Siraj-ud-Dawla, but he mixed hands or joined hands with British. So obviously the Siraj-ud-Dawla was betrayed and lost in the Battle of Plassey. Next, who invited Babur to invade India? Already we know, friends, the last Delhi Sultanate is Ibrahim Lodi. Ibrahim Lodi was ruling India, and during that period his companion, the one of the minister, is Alam Khan, also called as Daulat Khan Lodi. This Daulat Khan Lodi was unsatisfied with Ibrahim Lodi, so he went to Babar and invited, come on my dear Babar, come and beat this fellow, invade India and give the place to me. But Babar did what? He came India and defeated this Ibrahim Lodi and started a Mughal rule in India. So obviously these Alam Khan ambitions were defeated. Next, who attended the second roundtable conference as the representative of Congress? This has a linear clear explanation, my friend. 1919 Act was introduced, Government of India Act. After that, to study that act, how it was functioning, what are all the improvements they must make, they started a Simon Commission in 1927. It had given the report. After giving the report, that report must be studied, so they conducted round table conferences 1, 2, 3, and after that this report study and everything over, they introduced Government of India Act based on the recommendation of round table conference, all things. So everything has its own chain formation, my dear friend. In the round table conference 1 was conducted in 1930. During the same time, Congress never participated in first round table conference, and also Congress introduced civil disobedience movement. Gandhi is the one who introduced civil disobedience movement, but this Ramsay MacDonald is the person one who was during this round table president of a round table conference, but he was Ramsay MacDonald is seriously disappointed with this, as because in the first round table conference there is no Congress participation. So Irwin is the viceroy during that time. So Irwin went and convinced Gandhi, so that Gandhi said okay. So they discontinued or suspended Civil Disobedience Act, and Gandhi moved along with Sarojini Naidu. He moved to London to meet at this round table conference, where there too it was a greatest disappointment to Gandhi. So he came, returned to India, and again started continued this civil disobedience movement. This is all about this. So who is the person who went to second round table conference on behalf of Congress is Mahatma Gandhi, who was a member of Din-e-Ilahi. Din-e-Ilahi, you know, this is a religion introduced by Akbar. It is a mix of more religions, my dear friends. He is who is the person who was the first member, of who is the first person to follow is Birbal, not king, I think so. Birbal is the person, because we know, let's read the story, many stories. Birbal is along with the companion of Akbar, with whom was the last opportunity to avoid a partition of India lost. See, my friends, partition of India was not a greater ambition, because British also recommended that if we are dividing India into two parts, there will be a war, misconceptions, problems, issues, Hindu-Muslim disunity, everything will be arising. But still there was a issue, and cabinet mission plan was the last plan in 1946, where they said that India and Pakistan must stay together without any problems, but it was a failure. So that in 1947 they introduced another act called Mountbatten Plan, so India Independence Act. So finally India was divided into two nations. And also in 1946 cabinet mission plan, there was a greatest disappointment. After this, there are 1,000 plus people have been killed in Calcutta, and Hindu-Muslim issues and problems were in the rise. Who is known as Indian Bismarck, Iron Man of India? He is none other than Vallabhbhai Patel. Memories of Babar, Tusk-e-Babri was written in which language? Tusk means it is written in Turkish language, my dear friend. Next, who organized Ashwamedha Yagna in Gupta period? Ashwamedha Yagna means they leave a horse, and that horse will travel to certain distance, the land to the distance it had traveled will be taken or donated, and some other things they will do. So it is done by Samudragupta. Which group was related to Tana Bhagat movement? Tana Bhagat movement, the one who belongs to this group is Oran. It's a tribal group, my dear friend. Who was thrice elected President of Indian National Congress? Dadabhai Naoroji is the grand old man of India. He is the one elected to the President of Indian National Congress as many times, which means 3 times maximum number of times. And also few things, when you are reading Indian National Congress sessions, you must be able to remember not all the things, few important things. For example, first Muslim means it is Badruddin Topji, and also if it is first Indian, for example, first Indian woman means it is Sarojini Naidu. First woman means it is Annie Besant. Gandhi was president during which time means it is Belgaum session. So certain simple things you must be remembering. Next, A Forgotten Empire, written by renowned historian Robert Sewell, is about which empire? See here, Forgotten Empire is about Vijayanagara Empire. Who proposed the name Pakistan? Pakistan name was first proposed by Chaudhary Rahmat Ali, who was the oldest British monarch to sit on the throne. The oldest person will be Elizabeth II, by whom was the first estimated national income of India made. You know, the Dadabhai Naoroji, he is a famous person. He also introduced a theory called Drain of Wealth, which was exposure to the Indians of how the British has been looting India for a long years of 200 to 300 years, and it had influenced many people's mind and motivated them to the freedom struggle, my dear friends. So it is Dadabhai Naoroji who is also first estimated a national income of India. Where did a parallel governments form during Quit India movement? During Quit India movement, the Indians have started a parallel governments. The first parallel government will be Balia. Next, during whose viceroyalty Queen Victoria was crowned Kaisari Hind in Delhi Darbar. Delhi Darbar was conducted by Lord Lytton during 1878, my dear friend. But the problem is that during these 1870s, there was a greater famine and people were suffering. Tax was unable to be paid. But still, this Queen Victoria was invited to India and she was given Kaisari Hind title, and they were enjoying like anything. So that was a greatest disappointment to India. Okay, my dear friend, one more thing. The Kaisari Hind title was also given to Mahatma Gandhi. Next, late Raja Ravi Verma is an eminent figure in which field? Which field did he belong? He belongs to painting, who stated that there was no slavery in India. It was Megasthenes who was the ambassador of Indo-Greek ruler Seleucus Nicator. So he came to India and also he wrote on all the lifestyle and living style and everything about Indians. It is called as Megasthenes Indica, and he also mentioned that there is no slavery present in India during that time. Next, who was the regent of Akbar? Akbar became the king just in the age of 14. So he cannot make decisions. So the new regent was made to take a serious decisions. He is none other than Bairam Khan, my dear friend, and also this years 14 to 18 years. His mother has a great voice. So this time is also in few books given as petticoat governments. Next, by whom was the agitation against the partition of Bengal led? It is led by Surendranath Banerjee. Next, who was the Mughal emperor to have lifted a jizya tax on Hindus? Jizya means it's a religious tax, because if you want to follow your religion, your own religion, you must be paying the tax. It is called as jizya tax. It is abolished by Akbar. First it was introduced by Delhi Sultanate, then it was abolished by Akbar, and again it introduced by Aurangzeb, and again it was abolished, my dear friends. And who is known as a father of Indian unrest? Balagangadhar Tilak is famously known as a father of Indian unrest. Against whom did Gandhi started Satyagraha movement in 1919? The protest. Okay, Satyagraha protest in 1919 is against Rowlatt Act, my dear friend. A Rowlatt Act, it was a serious act, and this was the first all India national movement launched by Gandhi in 1919. And after that in 1920 he had also launched non-cooperation movement. Then again in 1930 he had launched civil disobedience movement, and again in 1942 he had launched Quit India movement. So these are all the large all India wide movements launched by Gandhi. Who was the first president of Indian Trade Union Congress in 1920? It is none other than Lala Lajpati Rai, who was the Indian Trade Union Congress president. Next, the maker of his own destiny book was written by which person? It is by Swami Vivekananda. You are the person, you are the maker of your own destiny. Who was a Governor General when the first Anglo-Burmese War was conducted? First Anglo-Burmese War was during rule of Lord Amherst. Next here, who was a first Indian Hindi scholar during a Mughal period? During a Mughal period, Indian Hindi scholar is Abdur Rahim. Remember this. Before that there are authors, but they wrote in Persian, Arabic and such languages. But Abdur Rahim is along with Akbar, and he was the most famous, and he is the one who is the first Indian Hindi scholar. Quit India movement started after the failure of which proposal? We know that after Cripps proposal in 1940, the Quit India movement was launched in 1942, my dear friend. And also Gandhi said that Crips India mission as a post-dated check of a crashing bank. Who wrote the song Sare Jahan Se Acha? Sare Jahan Se Acha is written by Muhammad Iqbal. When was the East India Company came into existence? By whom was England was ruled? During the East India Company came to India in 1600 and 1609, and East India Company formed in 1600. But who is the king during that period is who ruled it is Tudors rules England. Next, in which session Purna Swaraj adopted as its goal by Indian National Congress? In the Lahore session, Jawaharlal Nehru introduced this. From now we celebrate the Purna Swaraj from Jan 26th, 1930. But to this, remember this day only. We are even celebrating now our Republic Day. As usual, we have Independence Day, still we celebrate our Republic Day because of remembering of the Purna Swaraj declaration in Lahore session in January 26 of 1930. Next, who first started the civil services in India? So, father of Indian civil service is Lord Cornwallis. Which ruler had granted a Diwani to East India Company? Diwani and Nizamat rights. There are two rights, my dear friend. Nizamat and Diwani. Diwani means it is revenue tax rights, and also Nizamat means law and order. Diwani was taken by British, but law and order was given to the native ruler Shah Alam. But this was the greatest disappointment because a governance cannot be done without money. Next, who named a Prayag Nagar Allahabad? Prayag Nagar was named as Allahabad. It is by Akbar, and now again the Allahabad is again named as Prayag Nagar. What is that? Who named it as Prayag Nagar? Now is Modi. Next, who passed the Indian Universities Act? Indian Universities Act was passed by Lord Curzon. Next, by whom was Saka era founded? Saka era was founded by Kanishka during AD 76 AD. Next, which Peshwa was popularly known as Nana Sahib? You can see Ranveer Singh acted in Baji Rao Mastani. That Baji Rao's son is Nana Sahib, and he is also called as Balaji Baji Rao, and he is also a great ruler and great Peshwa, my dear friend. Next, who was a president of Indian National Congress while Mountbatten Plan was introduced? Actually, Mountbatten Plan was introduced on June 3rd, 1947. Next, it is by J.B. Kriplani. He is the president of Indian National Congress. Then, who first voiced the idea of separate Muslim state in India? Separate Muslim state is voiced by Muhammad Iqbal, who was the founder of Bharat Sevak Samaj, Servants of Indian Society. It was founded by Gopala Krishna Gokhale, who had the revenue system during the Akbar's reign. During the Akbar's reign, there are different person has their own rule and these things, systems and schedules. Departments has been allocated separately. Like that, revenue system was allocated to Todar. Attack on Chittagong Arsenal was done by whose leadership? Chittagong is a place in now in Bangladesh that was attacked by Surya Sen. There was also female supported him, that is Kalpana Datta, a famous freedom fighters. And also next we come to the question, who is associated with Tashkent Agreement? During 1965 there is a war between India and Pakistan. There is no any success, but India had a great upper hand. That time they need to sign an agreement called as Tashkent Agreement. Tashkent is a place in USSR. Now a place in after USSR disintegration in 1989. Now it is a place in Uzbekistan, a capital of Uzbekistan. Okay, now in the Tashkent Agreement, who signed from India's side is Lal Bahadur Shastri. But the saddest thing is Lal Bahadur Shastri had died of heart attack during this treaty, Tashkent Treaty only. Who advocated the policy of abolishing princely states in Free India? In Free India, abolition of this princely state is done by Jawaharlal Nehru. Jawaharlal Nehru passed this policy, and after this passing this policy, who was responsible for integration of Indian princely states? It is none other than our great Iron Man of India, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Integrated India into one nation by combining all the princely states or inculcating all the princely states into India. In which year was the Muslim League found? Muslim League was found in 1905. After the partition of Bengal, they had started a separate Muslim League. This had started in Decca, and now present day it is in Dhaka. Next, In which year did the Congress lose its monopoly of power in states for the first time after election? It is during 1967. Where there is no law, there is no freedom. Who said this? It is John Locke said that there is no law, there is no freedom. Who was the famous Indo-Greek king who embraced Buddhism? Menander, he is also called as Melinda. He is an important Indo-Greek king. During his period, there was a person called Nagasena who went to his darbar and he met him and both discussed. He was asking Menander was asking questions and Nagasena was answering. So after continuous asking and answering, then Nagasena was successful in converting Menander to Buddhism. So also after this great success, the discussion between Nagasena and Menander is written as a compilation of Milinda Panho. This Milinda Panho is a famous Buddhist literature, my dear friend. So this is all about all the important 100 questions or previous questions that we had discussed. Now thank you. Thanks for subscribing SPV Education World, and also keep supporting to SPV Education World. Together we create a better world. If you are not yet subscribed, kindly subscribe to our channel and also keep supporting and spread to many friends. This is me, SP Rajan, taking for you classes in Tamil, Telugu, Hindi, English clearly. If I need to make any much more improvements, you can suggest me, and also you can watch our playlist so that you can get idea of all the topics that I am teaching in a proper manner. And also, my dear friend, if you wish to donate to our channel, you can also donate so that we can together bring a big change. And also my ambition is that every rural Indian must get all the courses, all the topics clearly explained, and also every subject must be pakkali dealt, my dear friend. So this is me only person working from village to help many students, and also you can also be a part of my initiative, so you can donate or you can help anyhow, my dear friends. Thank you. Thanks for watching SPV Education World. Together we create a better world. Signing off, SP Rajan. Bye. Take care.